I'm Chi. I'm the co-founder and CEO of KITE AI, and KITE AI is the first purpose-built EVM-compatible layer 1 blockchain for AI. And at its core is the innovative consensus mechanism called Proof of Attributed Intelligence, acronym of Proof of AI, to ensure the transparent attribution and fair rewards to every contributors in the end-to-end AI workload, from data to models to agents. So that is what KITE AI is doing. And a little bit background about myself. I come from the AI background, pretty much spent the last decades in both AI and big data industries. So started my career in the PhD of machine learning and causal inference at UC Berkeley, and then I went to a automated machine learning platform company as a founding member to build the initial version of this like AI platforms, and then recognized the importance of data in industry. So went to a company called Databricks to lead product management there.
Okay, yeah. Design or diff AI or DAI?
Oh, what we're building? I think we are more, you can consider it's more like the DAI.
Okay,
or like
I just said DAI because some questions related to the design. So
exactly. Okay, maybe you can, in that case, you can just call us AI, but then how we can enable the DAI and design.
Yeah, okay. I'm so curious, like, what does the DAI mean to you? Like, how do you see its impact on the future of AI?
So I consider there's three categories of AI in the industry. There's a centralized AI, there's open source AI, and there's decentralized AI. So each of them means quite different to me. That's where I, that's the category, and then we can talk about DI side. So the key difference between DI versus the other two is centralized AI, everybody knows, is controlled by centralized government, centralized organizations such as OpenAI or other companies that are having closed sourced AI that not open sourcing anything there, right? No open sourcing of the code, no weights, no description of where they get the data and all, so on and so forth. And then open source AI is another level, which is much better in some way than the closed source AI, because then you know how the model weights look like. You can download the model by yourself and utilize that in different environments, and they will tell you high-levelly about how this model can be trained, and it will be trained through paper or like other articles. But the problem about open source AI is it's not really one end-to-end transparent and verifiable about how the model is being built, for example, because the data may not be open source to people, and you don't know exactly what the preparation or like processing they have done internally. And second is a very important thing about open source AI challenge is the monetization piece. There's nobody get benefits in this process, especially for those builders, right? Their model can be uploaded to Hugging Face, and then there's millions of downloads. There's a lot of people use that to generate revenues, but they don't get anything. So that's why, to me, now it goes back to DAI. What does that mean to me? Is decentralized AI is really using to me, decentralized technologies such as blockchain to bring the full transparency and trust into the process while maintaining the privacy and ownership of the assets in the process.
Yeah, okay. I think you already answered my next question. Like, what's your approach to the funding while maintaining the decentralization and the open access?
Makes very good question, because that is, to me, one of the key reasons I found DAI or like a design can be very helpful to builders and the researchers, and of course everybody participate in the process. So given that today the topic is about design, let me rephrase that from design part a bit. First of all, I consider like one of the big challenges of the traditional AI and traditional science is there's only a very small handful of organizations or entities can get big portion of the capitals or fundings to support their projects. And this problem gets, in the science world, gets more severe over the past few years. It's harder and harder for researchers and those industry companies to get the funding from no matter the VC funding or like the government funding. And one actually sad thing I can share here is because I graduated from Berkeley and I used to work very closely with the School of Public Health for a lot of research. And about 2 years ago, they already shut down their undergrad program for the School of Public Health because of the lack of funding from government.
Yeah.
And
that happens sometimes.
yeah, that was to me pretty sad because I think public health is very important, and they there's a lot of like social welfare reason that they should be taken care of better by the government. But anyways, so that's why to me now, why I think and I observed a lot of the projects moved from the traditional Web2 approach to design or like DAI is actually there's a better channel to do funding, to do to get the capital to support their vision and their dream. Of course, there's a fine line because then there's also a lot of unfortunate scam and some of the rug pull happen. But
we're right now in the first step.
Very early stage, but I definitely see this bring alternative options to researchers and builders to get the funding to support them.
Right. Okay. My next question is so what challenges you encountered, whatever regard to the governance or the technical issues? Like, what kind of challenge you have faced in your problem, and how do you address them?
There's tons of technical challenges. So I think let me think about where to start with.
Okay.
And also a lot of governance challenges. For example, now we're talking about again, think about from the design perspective. Now we are some of the projects we're working with and use cases is about like a cancer diagnose, right? The blood cancer pathology diagnose model building, and in that case, that's require a lot of data contributed or gathered from different, like the patient data from different resources, and in that case, now one of the partners we're working with, they actually collected the data, the patient data from multiple even countries that can be then used by another partner, which is actually in this case UC Berkeley and the MSK, the Cancer Center, to build the model on top of those data. Then in that case, how do you track the ownership and attribution of those data from different contributors in the process? And when we are talking about this data, it's not just it's not that when it's diving into the technical side, it's actually very challenging from different data formats perspective. There's like image data, right? Because you are taking like X-ray, taking like MRI and all those things, like the blood cancer with a microscope. So at the image level and at the text, a lot of like a different type of data level, how do you track those things? So that's why now what we are designing is like what we call the data DNA approach, to actually at each of the row level to have some tracking mechanism there. Whenever there's like a transform did on the data side, then we will generate a new hash and push that to the blockchain side. So that's one example. But on top of that, there's a lot of other things, such as the core mechanism we're building is the proof of attributed intelligence. Then when it comes to proof, how do you read a proof? And also when you talk about the contribution, how do you calculate the contribution?
Okay.
Is that,
So I got a personal question. Like besides the fundraising things, like do you think the blockchain really brings some benefit to the AI, or besides the fundraising things, do you think have other yields have bring to you or your project?
Absolutely. So to me, I think blockchain as an industry and as a technology have both benefits from the technical side and the economic side. So we talked about the economic side briefly on the funding side. But when it comes to the technical side, what is the real nature of a blockchain? It's actually an immutable database. It's a database where you can track the history and you can audit the trial, because it's not changeable, right? It's
Right,
immutable. So in that way, now when we talk about the how to preserve and tracking the ownership and the usage of those AI, like data and model and agents, that's exactly what blockchain can be helpful, because you can have those key information about, who owns what,
Right.
and who used the what at what usage,
Right.
and what the price should look like, and all those rewarding stuff can be tracked on chain. So that's, to me, is like no other solutions can do that, because underlying this is a great ledger solution there.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree with your point. Like all of points are so genius, right? Thanks for sharing today. Thanks. I'm so excited to see the future development of your project, KITE.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Yeah, thank you.